Shannon, who has won free agency so far, in your opinion?
Skip, I think the thing with free agency, people need to understand, anytime you sign a free agent, you're rolling the dice. Because you're taking a player from somewhere else that's not, and you're going to have to ingratiate him into your system. Now, are you going to use that player? Why did you fall in love with him? Why did you say, you know what, that got to be a good fit for us? Are you going to use him in a similar fashion, be it offensively or defensively, as the role that you found him, that you fell in love with him? The New England Patriots, Skip, I believe they had the best offseason for the simple fact the mistakes that Coach Belichick made, and he made them. He drafted these players. The mistakes that he made, he was able to go in free agency and correct. The two tight ends, he's admitted, I made a mistake. You don't draft two guys in the third round, trade up to get one of them, and then the following year in the offseason, you go get two tight ends via free agency and pay a premium penny for them. You go out and get two receivers. You took a receiver 2 years ago in the first round, saying, you know what, I made a mistake. Now, normally, your owner don't let you do that. You make those kind of egregious errors, Skip, and you spend that man's money, he's going to get your butt up out of here. But Mr. Kraft said, you know, I had to scramble. It's been long. I ain't had to come up with that kind of capital in a very long time. But it's an investment. I believe they filled holes that they needed to be filled. I believe they're going to be better. So let's just say they missed the playoffs last year. They make the playoffs this year. Job well done. Unless the team, Tampa, wins the Super Bowl, what do they do? Now, we've seen the Kansas City tried to stand pat. Injuries, I always felt the greatest deterrent to our team repeating is injuries. They had injuries at the wrong time. You get an opt-out by you got one guard, another guard, your left guard go down with a knee injury, your right guard, your right tackle has a back injury, and then the championship game, your left tackle go out with an Achilles injury. Boom, 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 boom. A series of unfortunate events. You read the Limited Snicket series. But anyway, so for me, Skip, I'm going to take the Patriots. I know these are not Gronk. You know, these are not, you know, a Julio Jones type names. But what they were able to do was fill holes that they needed to be filled. I believe this makes them a playoff team. The thing is, I just don't believe that. We'll see how it works out for Tampa. But standing pat, everybody else is going to be gunning for you. Nobody was gunning for Tampa last year. You know what happens when you win the Super Bowl. You're everybody, because there are a lot of teams, Skip, that are not going to even make the playoffs. You're their Super Bowl.
Yeah, I watched those Dallas Cowboys in 1993. Everybody was gunning for them. They just went boom, 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 boom. Rolled right to another bowl, right?
Yeah.
It can happen.
Yeah, it can, yes. But what were they able to do? Avoid what? Injury.
By the way, the Buccaneers lost Antoine Winfield Jr. at New Orleans in that playoff game, and then they lost him for the whole game on the frozen tundra of Lambeau.
Come on, Skip.
Well, they did. We should have been the defensive rookie of the year, and they survived.
Over Chase Young?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As the leader of that defense, yes, sir. So, Shannon Sharp, my first question is, are you sure that Bill Belichick corrected his mistakes? Are these all slam dunk corrections? Are they all no-doubters?
Well, Skip, as long as they have more than 5 catches and 55 yards, he's corrected the mistake.
Okay. To me, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, once known as the Succaneers, are running away with free agency, and it ain't even close, because they did have a whole bunch of free agents. They were free. They could have hit the market. And you say every free agent signee is a roll of the dice. Well, these were no rolls of any dice because they knew them all.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So they kept their own. As Brady said, we're going to keep the band together. We're going to bring it back. Okay.
But that don't mean you're going to have another hit.
Okay. Well,
you know what I'm saying, Skip? You know, a lot of bands been together for years.
Yep.
They have them hits and they have no more sense.
The Beatles just kept making hits. They just made hit after hit after hit. They just never missed.
But there are a lot of bands, Skip, they made hits and then they still live off those old hits.
Yep.
Never to make that kind of music again, but that's okay.
All right. So is that what you're predicting?
I ain't predicting nothing, Skip. Well, go ahead and make your point.
My point is, let's just go right down the line, boom, boom, boom. Would you rather have Shaq Barrett or Matthew Judon? I'll take Shaq Barrett. It's proven commodity.
Yeah.
I know he can rush the passer at the biggest moments with the brightest lights. I know he can. I'll take Shaq Barrett. Would you rather have Rob Gronkowski, the GOAT tight end, coming back again for another year, or Jonnu plus Hunter Henry? Yeah, I'll give you both of them. I'll take Gronk over both of them.
But see, here's the thing with you, what you're not doing. I told you, options and then choices. Give me the options that I had in free agency, and then I'll make a choice from those.
Okay.
Was Gronk an option?
I don't know. Could have been.
You know
I
he
guess.
was, Skip. You know
well,
he, Skip.
I don't know. He was
Skip.
free,
Skip.
and he said the day before, "I want to stick my toe in the water and just see what it feels like."
That was him to say, "Look, I want $10 million." Skip. The man said, "I'm not playing without Tom Brady."
Okay. The Buccaneers just brought back, in a shock to me, Ndamukong Suh. So, do you want Sue or do you want what Belichick signed? Devon Godshaw or Dietrich Wise or Lawrence Guy? I'll take Sue over all three of them. You can have all three of them together, and I'll still take
But
Sue.
here's the thing. For Coach Belichick's defense, those guys are better than Sue. Sue is a 3 technique, go get the quarterback. What he needs is space eaters.
Okay. I'm just doing it in a vacuum. I'll still take Sue.
But Skip, you gotta have guys that fit what you do now.
Okay. All right. I got it. Would you rather have Chris Godwin or Aguilar plus Kendrick Bourne? Who'd you rather have? I'll give you both your receivers
Skip,
that you signed, and I'll take Chris Godwin.
But Skip, here's the thing. I'm basing it on what they had last year. All the guys you mentioned weren't options, except Sue, maybe. But Sue doesn't fit what they do.
Okay. Would you rather have Levante David or Kyle Van Noy, who's now back in New England? Well, I'm just asking the question because this is what happened. This is what you're selling as the best free agency.
Let me ask you a question. Was Levante David available to the Patriots?
I think he was available to the public. He was on the market.
Skip, he signed before free agency started.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he started after.
Before it was already done, because then you had that. You could start talking that tampering period.
In the legal tampering, he signed.
Yes.
Okay, well, he could have fielded, I'm sure they fielded all kinds of phone calls from all kinds of teams, and he wanted to stay put. And that brings me to even the kickers. Ryan Suckup or Nick Folk? Who you got? I'll take Suckup. He went 9 for 9 in the postseason. It's advantage Tampa. I don't even have a counter to Jalen Mills, but I'll just give you Jalen Mills because I don't love it.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's a difference kicking in Tampa than kicking in New England?
Can be.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Unless it's raining in Tampa.
Yeah.
That can be a problem.
Okay, maybe you might get rain maybe twice.
Yeah.
But we know it's going to be cold.
Okay.
We know it's going to be cold in Buffalo. We know it's going to be cold in New York, right?
All right. I'll take Ryan Suckup. He's got to kick up there, too. He's got to go kick in Washington in the playoffs. You don't think that was a cold game? Yep. Didn't miss.
Oh, my God.
Didn't miss.
You're comparing, so it gets as cold as D.C. in D.C. as it does Boston, Massachusetts.
No, I don't know about that. Boy, I've had some cold games that I sat through in D.C. where I was frozen in old RFK.
So you're going to do that, Skip?
Well, I'm just saying it does get cold in D.C.
Theoretically, D.C. is the South, right? It does fall below the Mason. I'm just saying.
You're not quite there yet. You're not quite south yet, to me.
Yeah, but
it gets cold there. It gets real cold. But,
you ought to be shaving yourself.
now let's close the deal. The Buccaneers have brought back this quarterback named Tom Brady for his second year, while the Patriots decided to bring back a quarterback named Cam Newton for his second year. So in Tom Brady's first year, he threw 40 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Then he threw 10 to 3 in the postseason. So his grand total was 50 touchdown passes last year to 15 interceptions, 50 to 15 regular season and post. For Cam Newton's regular season, because they missed the playoffs, he was 8 touchdowns to 10 interceptions.
Yes.
50 to 15 or 8 to 10, which ranked 30th in QBR of 33 quarterbacks for Cam Newton.
But the way free agency works, if players aren't available, was Tom Brady available to the Patriots? They had him for 20 years and they let him go. So obviously he wasn't going to be available to them. I'm talking about...
He was the year before.
Yes, and they said, I'm basically on the pool of free agents.
Yep.
Based on what they have on their team. If Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar, are they better than Damiere Byrd, Jacoby Myers, and the guy N'Keal Harry? Are they better than those guys? Yes or no, Skip? That's it. Like, you know what? I'm glad you said that. In a vacuum, are these guys better than what they had?
A little. I'll give you a little.
Okay.
Just a little.
Are the 2 tight ends that they signed, are they better than what they had?
I don't even know those guys' names.
Exactly.
I got to go look them up again.
But they are a lot better.
Yep.
So they won.
They won?
Yes.
Well, they came from ground zero. They were nothing.
Thank you.
Okay? So how is that a win? Because the champions they were facing a mass exodus of free agents. They all could have just said, we got our ring, we're gone, we're going to get paid. Shannon Sharp predicted a bunch of them would say, break the bank on the open market. We need generational wealth. Nobody did. They all stayed right down the line.
Yes.
Okay? So that's winning free agency. That's shocking to me because I didn't see this come. I thought Sue was gone for a fact.
I didn't see it. I felt that for the guys that we mentioned, we talked about Godwin, we talked about Shaq Barrett, we talked about Levante David, we thought of Dominican Sue. I said, there's no way, obviously, they'll put the franchise tag on one of them, and they'll be able to sign the other. But I thought two of the four was going absolutely.
Well,
and for them to to bring all of those guys back, yeah, I'm shocked.
Okay, so that's called winning free agency.
I still like the Patriots. But let me ask you a question. Now, in order for them to win, they're going to have to win the Super Bowl again. They have to repeat.
Yeah.
Because if New England makes the playoffs,
what?
They won.
New England won by making the playoffs while Tampa goes back-to-back in the Super Bowl?
Hold up. They can't go back-to-back. They got to win.
Huh? Well, I just said, no, I mean, well, if they win back-to-back.
Oh, you picking
I think they will. Yes, I will.
Okay.
I'm on record now. I got them.
Okay.
You don't got them. Do you want to do record versus record for 10 cases right now?
I'm going to see what we do in the draft.
Oh.
Coach Belichick.
Belichick nails the draft. He is a draft master.
He be terrible at the draft.
Yeah, okay.
But he got 13 million left. Now, he got a big old piece of pie left.